Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this recording of the finals of the 2v2 tournament with teams Pain and Team ZEN. They made it a really long way, guys. I'm just showing you right now. This is a quick image of the tournament brackets that we had drafted up and the different pools that they had, but I'm just showing you guys the tournament right here. And it's been a really long path. Actually, we've been doing this tournament for like a month and a half, maybe even a little bit more. One of the obstacles to running a tournament for Heroes of Order and Chaos iOS world server is that it is a world server, so everybody that's playing can be anywhere. And scheduling any match between two teams can be just enormously difficult. People with different time zones, and it's just there are many things that can prevent a world server from being able to interact so smoothly that it's actually easy to run a tournament like this. So that's part of the reason that this tournament has been going on for so long. But I bring you guys here tonight the finals of Team ZEN and Team Pain. They made it all the way from the pool play rounds, past the qualifications that you needed, 1, 2 out of 3 games or more, made it to the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and then finally to the finals. And so this is the match that I'm going to show you guys right now. It just happened, it just finished, and this is what we're going to go over. I'm going to go ahead and commentate on it. And I'm just going to warn you that this match is going to blow your mind. It's crazy. The level of gameplay is just out of this world. There's I don't even know what to say right now. If you didn't catch the Twitch stream, we were able to stream it live, and it ended up happening at something like 3 or 4 in the morning my time. The people competing in this tournament were everywhere from like the Philippines to like somewhere in China and Canada, so they had to come to some sort of agreement to when everybody could play. And of course I'm always available. I'm fit. I don't have anything better to do than to watch amazing players play Heroes of Order and Chaos, and that's what we're about to do right now. A little bit of music, Hawk has like the best music ever. I don't know who their composer was, but gotta get that guy's number. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at the contestants here. This is Tangina123 using Belondis, the Merciless, and Kushmusta using Goldfur, the Fox. This is Team Pain that you see up here on the top, and against Team ZEN, which would be Polyphemus, Trollzor24, good friend of mine, and as well Goldfur, Theskios using Goldfur, the Fox. On the opposing side, that is Team ZEN. Guys, we're going to go ahead and delve right into this here. We've done a couple tournament showcases here on my YouTube channel. This tournament, I do have to say a special thanks to Gameloft, Andrea from Gameloft, and for all their support and continued support of everything that I'm trying to do here. And that I truly do appreciate the idea of promoting community efforts to bring this world to the public and everything that we are trying to do here. So anyways, guys, I'm just going to give you a little bit of how I feel on this. We're going to go ahead and take the Fog of War off. And I have not seen this match without the Fog of War, so it's going to be very interesting for me to be able to see what happens here on the mini-map. Okay, guys, so over here on the side of order, this is going to be Team Pain. This is Team Pain's base. This is the blue side. And then on the Chaos side, this is going to be Team ZEN, actually. And Trollzor24 using Polyphemus. He's in the Shroud right now. I tried clicking on his stats, but I can't. And this is Tangino123 using Belondus the Merciless. And Kushmusta. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and take a look right now at what Tangina and Kushmusta bought. In the general layout of things right here, we have a Belondus, and we have a Fox, and we have a Cyclops, and we have a Fox. Okay, so what does that mean? You have two Foxes. Alright, and two Foxes are actually jungling these bottom and top camps the whole time. This is the strategy that these teams decided to bring to the finals. Already 30 seconds in, and they're clearing out their first creep camps. And the Bruisers is what we're going with. Guardians, really. Inheridon, as they're called. Head on over to the lane after clearing out their creep camps. And Tangina123 starts off at level 2, while Trollzor gets his level 2. And there's a little bit of communication going back and forth between Belondus and Polyphemus here in the mid. And so this is what's happening right now. I mean, you see the Foxes in the top left. It looks like Kushmusta actually finishes jungling faster than Theskios did. And it's interesting to think that actually Kushmusta was able to jungle a little bit faster because of his starting items. So we can't see what Theskios picked as his starting items because he hasn't showed up actually on the Shroud. I am Hawk My Figure, this lonely elf here in the corner, and so since I was on the order side, I could never see Theskios. We're not going to see what his starting items are. But Kushmusta picked up 2 Squire's Energies in the very beginning. This is a really interesting build. I've never seen anything quite like it. I don't think I've ever seen anybody playing Fox use something like this. The dynamics of a 2v2 game are a little bit different, but the Squire's Energy is going to go ahead and give you a little bit of HP, the same amount as the Squire's Patience or Wisdom. However, it does give you that 150 extra bonus mana. So that's the 300 starting mana, which is just super significant. So you can see that Kushmusta really has no problem clearing out his creep camps quite quickly. We're going to go ahead and take the Shroud back off, guys. And you see that Theskios is still in his top right jungle working on things. So Kushmusta is just like one step a little bit ahead. There's so much harassment going on here in the lane, and Trollzor is starting to gain a little bit of advantage here in the lane. Tangino123 is actually forced back to the base. He is left out of the lane, missing out on all this experience right here, and the gold that's just falling to the tower. However, Tangina makes his path back very quickly, actually picks up this last creep and turns level 4 right here. Alright, Tangina already has a Face Breaker and a Healing Spice, and Kushmusta with some movement speed. And, you saw the brackets just now. We had many games for this tournament. And I saw all sorts of different combinations. Everything from an Inquisitor to a Harpy. We had an Akartu in there somewhere. The Dark Elf Exile showed up. Paladin was all over the place. And even Paela Longhorn made one heck of a good fight, Paela Longhorn. But you know what? We never saw a Fox and a Guardian. And for some reason, it just seems like things happen like this sometimes, that in really important, really big fights, that the teams actually choose something very similar. And it couldn't get any more similar than 2 melee Guardians sitting in the lane together while their scoundrels are actually on the side doing what they do best, clearing out creep camps with their spam. And so let's just go ahead and focus on the mechanics that are happening here in the middle. The lane is being pushed towards Team Pain, but the tower is not ever taking damage. However, Trollzor is actually manipulating the lane in such a way and dishing out such a good amount of harassment that Tangina cannot sit comfortably in the lane, and many of his creeps are actually falling under the tower, forcing Tangina 1-2-3, Belondus the Merciless, to actually attempt to last hit the minions under the tower, which he's exceedingly good at. So it's a battle for CS at this point. Both of the foxes are jungling, and it's interesting to see on the minimap that they're actually extremely, I mean, just in the same locations even, taking the same jungle route, going bottom, porting back to base, going up to the bears, then to the spiders, and porting back to base, getting experience as quickly as possible. It's faster to port back to base than to walk all the way down. And the specific jungle route that the foxes are taking, actually, going to the bottom, heading back up to the base, porting out as quickly as possible afterwards, covering your mana for a second, and then heading back up to the top jungle. By the time you finish taking out spiders and bears, and you go back to the base, it turns out that as you walk back down to this camp, it pretty much spawns by the time you get there. So this is one of the quickest ways that you can gain experience on this map, this specific jungle route that we're talking about. Many times people don't use this in PvP or any other sort of arenas. You see here that Tangina 1-2-3 is actually level 6 before Trollzor24. He was able to take out some of those bottom base camps, and Trollzor24 actually did pop a healing spice, and then you see the first ultimate come up in the game, and Trollzor24 is actually stuck inside of the cage. The curse comes up from the scoundrel, and as soon as his ultimate pops, it actually is hitting the shield, stuns the Cyclops after the shield wears off. Theskios is now on the playing field. He lands a curse on Belondus the Merciless, casts his ultimate. Belondus the Merciless is taking lots of damage. Kushmusta is actually able to heal Tangina to a safe amount, and the first exchange between Team Pain and Team Zen ends without a death, and just a little bit of a skirmish there in the middle, and not much of a chase. Trollzor returns back to his farm, and his lead in the CS, which he continues to try and extend throughout the rest of the game. Trollzor24 has 36 CS right now. Tangina 1-2-3 at 33 CS. Tangina already has 2 Squire's Patience, 2 Facebreakers, and Fury Blades. Trollzor24 is actually farming up 2 Facebreakers right now. And that's about it. He's sitting on a little bit of money in his pocket. And Theskios actually has a ruby ring, and I can't remember what that baby's called right there, but it's 450 gold and it gives you mana. But it does build into Brawler's Lament, which Theskios actually just showed up on the map with. He also has a sight ward that I believe he places. He has a sight ward that he probably placed around here in this location so that they can see any field ganks coming from the bottom on his teammate Trollzor24. This is a vital element of any competitive gameplay, and is a constant occurrence throughout this tournament, is the idea of having ward placement so that you can watch out for the ganks. Farming is such an important part of this gameplay, though. If you spend time searching for a gank or getting an angle on an enemy, that's time that you could actually spend. Look how hard Trollzor is hitting on Tangina, even a Guardian at that. But setting up on a gank is actually time that you could be spending walking towards a farm, destroying a farm, getting experience, walking towards experience. Anytime you're walking towards a gank, you're walking away from experience if it doesn't close down on a kill. Trollzor times an excellent stun, and then the curse comes from the fox. The cage comes up from Tangina 1-2-3, and Kushmusta comes out of nowhere with his spam and nukes Theskios out of this world. Trollzor cannot do much with the silence from Belondus, keeping his teammate from being able to use his spells. That proves how good Team Pain thought out their strategy with the silence coming from Belondus. It proved very, very effective in that first exchange at this level, showing how they can silence Theskios and keep him from being able to cast his spells at the right moment. That was a well-timed spell cast coming from Tangina 1-2-3, and it gave him a little bit of the edge he needed to feel more comfortable in losing in his lane in the CS, only at 42 CS compared to Trollzor 24 at 56 now CS. So that was first blood going to Team Pain over here on the order side. And trust me, they're looking for more blood. But like I said, as much as it would be nice for the Fox to be able to roam around here in the top, search for a gank on Trolls, or if it's unsuccessful, that's time that you spend looking for a gank, while you can be sure that the other guy is most likely catching experience and gaining an advantage on you if you're not getting kills from those ganks. When you go in for a fight, essentially, you want to be able to close down on something. You don't want to walk away with nothing. Alright guys, so I just also want to talk about maybe the idea that Tangina123 does have a blink, and Kushmusa also has a blink. Trollzor24 and Theskios of Team ZEN are running a different strategy. Trollzor has a blink, but Theskios does not have a blink. Theskios is actually using a teleport with the Tablet of Assistance, giving him a little bit of reduced cooldown. I believe it gives actually a minus time now, minus 36 seconds or something on the teleport cooldown. So it got nerfed a little bit. And but anyways, they are running a different strategy, and the strategies that each team is using will become more apparent as the match develops a little bit more. You're running a Cyclops mid against a Bolondus mid. Bolondus has damage reduction. Cyclops has damage reflection, however. It's a little bit different than Bolondus' passive. Bolondus' only stun, however, occurs when you attack him with a single target skill. The first dragon of the game is taken. Trollzor24 is heading down to check out the dragon, maybe looking at the steal. They know that they're taking it. He comes upon this. They take the dragon. Ultimate comes out from the Fox. Theskios runs up and starts nuking. A wasted ultimate comes from Trollzor. Misses out on both of them. And this exchange right here will not end in second blood for each team. Lows on manas, and also some of the health bar is gone, so they decide to call it quits and just head back to their farming, and hopefully to continue to cement an advantage. Especially that is the idea behind Team Pain. They know that Kushmusa is jungling very quickly. He's able to do so with the extra mana that he has. He's not running out in the jungle. He's already purchased a Helm of the Cloudwalkers, and for some reason picks up a Hermeticist Cape. Perhaps the Hermeticist Cape even assisted him in that last fight, giving him the magical and physical defense that he needed to get away with that. The Foxes are the same, essentially. We don't know what their talent builds are at the moment, even though we will. But we know that their item builds are different. It's obvious that Theskios is going for a more damage-centered build. You can see that he has a Squire's Wisdom. He also has a Brawler's Lament, giving him the extra magic attack damage, and as well some extra mana, which is a smart buy for the Fox. And a little bit of movement speed, and as well an Acolyte Staff, which looks like a preliminary build for Searing Orb. So a more damage-oriented build going in the way of of Theskios, the way that he's using the Scoundrel, and Kushmusa is just now getting a Hermeticist Cape. Now this is the big oops of the tournament finals. Watching this, we were like, why does he have a Hermeticist Cape? And I talked to a friend afterwards, and the biggest thing that we could find was that it was a miscommunication, is that they were supposed to get something else, and that they didn't end up getting it. But you'll see how that goes later as we pay attention to the different builds that these guys are picking up. A little bit of exchange going on there mid. Both of them do take significant damage from each other. Of course, it looks like Cyclops takes a little bit less.
Ready to strike.
Cyclops is just a naturally dense hero. It's very, very hard to hurt him that much. It looks like they have the extra healing from the Guardian talents, but as well Fighter Harvest. Look how hard Tangina just hit with that crit on Trollzor24. That's 1/5 of his health gone. Lane dominance plays such a crucial role in this. If you can force your enemy out of the lane in a 1v1 scenario like this. Oh, and you see a top gank coming from the bottom, or sorry, from the top, and Kushmusa was actually out of the cloud, on accident, auto-attacked a creep, then realized he was out of the cloud, and that it was going to be a complete failed gank. Decided just to spam on the creeps, pick up that gold, and head back to base. And so we've established that there is a difference between the way the two foxes are building, and we'll continue to pay attention to that. But also that there's a very fundamental difference between the Cyclops and Belondus the Merciless. Both of these heroes have damage reduction. Cyclops has 2 stuns. 2 of what some would say are some of the best stuns in the game. Cyclops has a ranged stun that after it wears off, it actually slows the enemy too. Hammer Smash is a fantastic stun that is in Cyclops' toolkit. However, Cyclops' ultimate is a long group stun, and it can be absolutely devastating to an enemy team. Cyclops has 2 stuns. Belondus does not have a stun at will. However, his passive has an active that can make it so a single target skill will actually end up stunning the person who targeted him with it, and it can render them stunned for, I believe, what has been now 0.5 seconds, or maybe it's 1 second now. Belondus the Merciless does have damage reduction, but the kind of damage reduction is percentage based. Cyclops is actually integer, meaning it reduces income damage by 5 to 10, and upwards from that. And Cyclops' passive actually has an active that will reflect the damage taken, so it actually causes damage. Alright guys, so we're seeing another dragon spawn here. It has been first blood for Team Pain. They have been farming quite a bit. They have pretty hurtful items here. Look how quickly the dragon is going. Trolls 24 heads down to the bottom jungle, catches them doing it, goes for the hammer smash steal, is not able to do it. Ultimate comes up from Cyclops. Theseus ports in and starts spamming. Belondus the Merciless goes in with the silence, chases after Theseus, and that is game over for Theseus. Trolls 24 is working hard on the Fox, takes out Chrismosta, and with the double kill, Trollzor is able to actually take out both of them, and exactly how we have looked at this already before. It was just an amazing double kill that just occurred in the bottom jungle. Trollzor really stepping up to the plate and winning that fight for his team. Activated his passive at absolutely the right time when he was being focused by Belondus the Merciless. Trolls 24 actually was able to activate his passive and reflect much of the damage that he was being dished out by Tangina123. Guys, look at the CS here. Tangina123 only has 64 CS compared to Trollzor's 95 CS. Absolutely dominating the mid lane. Able to keep Tangina on his feet. Just not able to get the amount of CS that he would like to. Not able to free farm whatsoever. Taking a lot of harass. Actually being forced to use skills to be able to farm these creeps. They see how strong Trollzor is now, and it's not worth getting a hammer smash, and you don't know his attack speed. Hammer smash has the stun, but lets Trollzor come up for a gap close just by walking. And then after the stun wears off, you're slowed, so he can get plenty of auto attacks in there, and then you're almost dead, and you can't farm for the rest of the time you're in the lane. Foxes see each other in the top jungles. They know what each other's up to, and they're going to go ahead and leave each other alone for now. Trolls are heading down just for a little bit of experience. He's able to return to the lane, actually level 12 with a potentially level 3 ultimate. Out leveling his opponent, Tangina123 in the lane. Alright, and the battle is now stepping into the 20-minute mark. The lane is actually completely empty. Thescio steps into the lane. Being fairly shut down this game, and it shows he's only level 10. Thescio has now picked up his first 2 CS of the game, and now he has 4. Thescios is 0-2 right now. Trolzor is 2-0. Tangina is 1-1-1, and Kushmusa is 1-1-1. Alright guys, so Kushmusa picked up a Hermeticist Cape and then decided to go ahead and sell it. Pick up Helmet of the Cloudwalkers all over again, and then build a Staff of Vigor. So it looks like they had a miscommunication at some point. I really don't know this for certain. I haven't talked to them about this. I'm just saying because I was watching the items as the game was progressing, and it looked like they decided to go ahead and take their lead, and maybe they were counter building their items to the enemy's items, trying to figure out the best way to set this up. And all of a sudden, a gank comes around from the bottom. They come right out of the clouds. Silence goes on Thescios. He absolutely cannot cast a spell. Neither can Trolzor to save the life of his teammate. And that is going to put them on the run. An absolutely sick gank coming from Team Pain. And if we had the Shroud in the way of the Chaos, you see right there where the foxes disappeared right there, that's exactly where they came out of. They were just standing right here in the lane happily, and all of a sudden murder came out of the bottom jungle, guys. Alright, so Tangina 123 going down to the bottom jungle to solo the dragon. That is the 3rd dragon going in the way of Team Pain. That is plenty of team gold for all, and which is absolutely necessary because of the significant lead that Trolzor has on his lane. Trolzor has 113 CS 22 minutes into the game. Pretty significant, very, very good farming. Tangina 123 only has 75. The way we see it most of the time is that about 1 kill is about 10 CS. Okay, there's not a lot of kills so far, but guess what? Team Pain has gotten 3 dragons. They've gotten 3 dragons. Trolzor 24 goes up to Mogulsh the Slicer. Mogulsh is now in question. Both teams are definitely strong enough to be able to take Mogulsh. Trolzor wanted to beat them to it, but Team Pain also wanted Mogulsh. Came up on Trolzor while he was taking it. Thescios comes up and curses Tangina 123. Flash comes forward from Kushmusta. Flash comes forward from Tangina 123. Moves forward, silences Thescios, and he is out for the count. Trolzor 123 is absolutely... Trolzor 24 is working on Kushmusta, but is actually not able to kill Kushmusta before he is taken out by Tangina. So, Mogulsh is still sitting right here, watching a bloodied battlefield before him. Again, Mogulsh is still in question. This is an important part of the game right now, since both teams are definitely strong enough to be able to take it. It suddenly has become very important. So Trolzor sees an opportunity, and look how hard Trolzor is hitting. Already taking Mogulsh the Slicer down by 2,000 HP. Just that quickly. Thescios actually decided to return back to the base. Didn't realize that Team Pain was actually going to step back into Mogulsh that quickly. Trolzor is just scouting, looking for the steal. Goes in, is silenced by Tangina 123, and Trolzor is actually able to steal Mogulsh the Slicer, but they get him back for it, cage him up, give him a couple of those spells, and definitely executed Trolzor, but Trolzor stole their Mogulsh the Slicer, keeping his team in the game. Even though the score was 5-2, it was absolutely necessary for him to be able to keep his team in the game, to go up there and make that steal, and he made that play happen. Absolutely ridiculous that this is the finals, and this is the kind of things that you are seeing right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at actually what it looked like from the side of Team Pain right now. You can actually see that they solved Thescios over here in the jungle, but just decided not to engage since he had the Mogulsh buff, and just really figured it'd be a waste of time. Kushmusta did. would rather just go back home to base and then just head back up to the jungle since they have the Mogul buff and just take the experience that he wants. Tangina just roaming the bottom jungles, trying to pick up his experience over here. The middle lane is not pushed too far in either direction, a little bit more towards the side of Team ZEN on the Chaos side. However, the lane placement right now is really not too much of an issue. Neither of the towers are taking significant damage. The Chaos tower, initial tower, actually has quite a bit of HP missing from it, but it's very similar to the amount of HP that's missing from the Order side. So trolls are just proving extremely dominant in the lane. It's just hard to lane against this guy. He just has this down. He will let his minions die and deny you as much gold as possible. He doesn't get greedy. He doesn't just walk up and push the lane. He absolutely has mastered the mechanics of the lane in Heroes of Order and Chaos. One of the best laners I've ever met, played with, and the stats really show that too. Tangina123 being slightly aggressive here on Trollzer, maybe making him want to run. Cage comes up and the silence, and so much damage coming from Tangina123. Cannot stop this from happening. A kill streak going in the way of Tangina. Volandis the Merciless proving very merciless at this moment. And the dragon has respawned. Kushmus is actually just going to go ahead and head down there by himself and deal very, very much damage over a short amount of time, while Tangina actually soaked up all the experience over here in the mid lane and didn't waste a drop of it. We're going to go ahead and look at what's happening here on the numbers, guys. Trollzer24 has 125 CS. He just died for the third time in the game. But he's making it work. He's grabbing experience. He's grabbing his gold from the CS in the lane. And while he's doing it, he's actually shutting down some of Tangina's CS coming in. And let's go ahead and take a look at Kushmusa's build here. He has the 2 Squires energies that he had before. He had that Helm of the Cloudwalkers. Turns out he wanted it to be a Zealot's Horn and not a Hermeticist Cape. Okay, so he sold the Hermeticist Cape, went ahead and bought another Helm of the Cloudwalker, and got Moguls, got all the dragons. Oh, they didn't get Moguls, sorry about that, but they got all the dragons, had enough team gold, and some of the successful fights that they had to actually just buy a Zealot's Horn, get a Staff of Vigor, and then the 450 gold extra mana item. Trolls are returning the lane. It is empty. He hasn't seen his opponents for a while. Tangina123 actually camping in the bush right here. Comes straight out at Trollzer right when he reaches for a creep. Flash comes forward from Kushmusta. And just maybe a little bit of a miscommunication between Kushmusta and Tangina. There was no cage. And just actually flashes, the blink is now down for Kushmusta, so he cannot use it for almost 3 minutes now. And we'll see if that makes a difference in the next engagement between these two teams. Alright, so guys, the score is 7-2 right now. And the battle of the CS has been going towards Trollzer all game. He is in this game still. He can deal plenty of damage. He initially got a double kill in the very beginning and hasn't been able to see a kill since. He was able to steal Mogush the Slicer from Team Pain, but they haven't been able to deny a single dragon from Team Pain this whole game. Blink comes in from Tangina123. The cage is set and the silence. But the port comes in from Theskios. He is not able to actually heal his teammate in time. And so that's going to be a double kill for Tangina123. And a kill streak announced again. Taking the initial tower is Team Pain. It was already taking a lot of damage. And Tangina is just rapidly pushing this. It actually looks like Theskios used a respawn token and it's coming back out. Curse comes from Theskios, but it's actually so close to Kushmusta, but it just does not hit him. I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure if the curse aggroes you and keeps you from porting back home or not. I'll have to test that out. I think that the curse from the scoundrel actually does stop you from porting out if it hits you. Pushing, coming very, very hard from Team Pain right now.
Ready to strike.
Alright, so this enters the part where they're trying to siege the base, and the tower defense comes. Volandis the Merciless just heads straight for Theskios. He silences him and cages him, and now he's just auto-attacking him. The Sword of Divinity is actually stunning Theskios, and the critical finishes the life of Theskios. Tangina is just taking so much tower. He got hit by every single tower in that base, and Trollzor is actually able to kill both of them. Tangina immediately uses a revive token, and as well does Kushmusta, but just an extremely aggressive push coming from Team Pain, absolutely in your face, just rushing through the base. And you know what? There's plenty of damage that occurred on the tower. So look how much damage that top tower has. Look how much damage this bottom tower has. The rotation from Team Pain leads towards the dragon. Respawns. This is the 4th dragon that Team Pain's taken. Not being able to deny a single dragon, Team ZEN is stuck at a serious disadvantage there. With Trollzor performing so well in the lane and getting very fed, he is the carry. However, Theskios just keeps getting caught out and is actually unable to help his carry stay alive long enough to finish out the entire team, and really just have enough momentum to overcome Team Pain in the team fights. Destroyed. The first base tower goes down. A couple of tower hits go towards Tangina 1, 2, 3. Doesn't really seem to mind. He has the dragon buff, and he's actually just going to try and use it to finish. The amount of damage coming from Team Tangina 1, 2, 3 is just so much. Very excellent healing coming from Theskios, but it is not enough to keep Trollzor alive. Trollzor actually revives and is now chasing. Blinks in, uses Hammer Smash on Kushmusta. Ultimate comes down from Cyclops, but there's absolutely no mana to back it up. Theskios had no extra mana and was not actually able to just close down on that free kill that he had right there. And so they're looking, and then instead of finding an opponent hiding in the jungle, Mogos the Slicer decides to respawn right here. Trollzor and Theskios are making their first attempt at actually soloing an epic monster on this map, and guess what? Easily take Mogos the Slicer. Interesting fact. They have gotten both of the Mogoshes that have popped up. No Mogos the Slicer has gone to Team Pain, who seems like they've been in the lead this entire game. But guess what? Team Pain has gotten every single dragon, and Team ZEN has gotten every single Mogos. That was a much-needed experience buff for Team ZEN, especially Theskios, who was falling behind on gold and on the experience. He needed that very much. Both teams just pressuring each other.
Ready to strike.
Hammer Smash comes down from Trollzor, who casts his ultimate on the scoundrel. Tangina just goes straight in for Theskios, silences him, and there is no spell casting coming from that scoundrel. Unable to deal with the silence, Hammer Smash comes from Trollzor, but so much mana from Kushmusta is able to keep his teammate alive. Kushmusta is running for his life right now, though. Hammer Smash comes from Trollzor. Easily two-shots him. Both scoundrels are dead. Only men left standing are Tangina 123 and Trollzor 24. Hammer Smash comes from Trollzor 24 and Tangina is actually ported out right then. That's the second time this match that his skill has been in the air heading towards somebody porting out, and it just does not hit them. Not sure about the Scoundrel's Curse. Pretty sure it stops a port, but I know for sure that Hammer Smash stops a port. That was either very, very lucky on the side of Team Pain, but these guys do this often enough. They pretty much know when they're porting out and when they're not, and I don't think that Tangina really felt or saw any threat there, even though the Hammer Smash was an inch in front of his face. Alright guys, so Team ZEN is on the last leg of their base defense. In fact, Tangina had just gone in and damaged the base quite a bit. I believe the creeps did a little bit of damage too. But coming in with this creep wave is Tangina with his teammate Kushmusa, and they're looking to finish this game, guys. Tangina just goes straight in with the silence. Goes straight for the auto attack on the base. Has a false ultimate. Is about to go in on Theskios, but is actually caught up by Trollzor 24's ultimate. And then a properly timed spam coming from Theskios. Assists Trollzor 24 in catching a kill streak and a double kill. You might be in my base, you might be pushing towards it might be halfway down, but guess what? I'm not out of this game is what Trollzor 24 says. Let's go ahead and take a look at the item builds, guys. Tangina 123 has a full build. He has 2 Akon Cutlasses. He has a Divinity Sword, a Jade Axe, and a Longbow of the Shadows, and chain boots, I think I mentioned, maybe not. Yeah, he has chain boots though. Kushmusa has 2 Squire's Energies. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that Trollzor is trying to kill a tower. But yeah, so Kushmusa has 2 Squire's Energies, Boots of Haste, a Zealot's Horn, a Searing Orb, and a Ruby Ring. Not sure what the Ruby Ring is going towards. Maybe a Spider Queen's Armor. I'm not sure, but Kushmusa definitely playing the support role in this. But a very interesting, diverse build coming from Kushmusa. A lot of utility there. Theskios was going for mostly a pure damage build. Definitely caught the Zealot's Horn in there. And the first dragon of the game goes to Team ZEN at 37 minutes. They finally are able to get their own dragon. Trollzor 24 has a Hades Armor and a Akon Cutlass, a Longbow of the Shadows, another Akon Cutlass, chain boots, and a face breaker, which I'm sure will turn into something else pretty shortly. However, Tangina 123 has a full build, and Theskios does not have anywhere near a full build, still even having the Squire's Wisdom that he had from before. But Tangina at this point is just extremely fed, and really couldn't get any more fed, is looking to finish this game. Game has been going on for almost 40 minutes now. Trollzor now has a full build, has just picked up his Jade Axe. Blink comes forward from Trollzor. Forces a blink from Kushmusa. A feigned teleport coming from Theskios. The silence comes up on Trollzor 24, and they decide to focus on him, and they easily take him out, especially with the cage. Theskios is actually out of place, not able to heal his teammate. But if he had been any closer, he probably would have just been targeted by Tangina and would not have been able to help out his teammate anyways. Excellently played by Team Pain. They do not want to see any sort of fight at the end. They just want to finish and seal their place as the champions of the 2v2 tournament. Hosted by BS Guild and My Fight Gree. Created by Alpha Primal. And with support from Gameloft and all of you guys out there, and as well as all the participants. Thank you guys so much but that was actually the finals round of the 2v2 tournament. And these players deserve a lot of recognition, and seriously, just absolutely amazing. You know, staying in the game with such tough opponents. Trollzor24 did such excellent work. 7 kills, 6 deaths, 182 CS, the same amount of gold as Tangina123. Absolutely just excellently played. And that mogul steal will go down in history. I promise you, will go down in history as one of the best mogul steals ever. And I'm pretty sure they decapitated him after that for that anyways. But, you know, I don't have much else to say. I think you guys should probably watch this replay. Maybe some of the highlights. And the team fights are actually absolutely just amazing. I think one of my favorite fights was in the beginning when Trollzor got a double kill, when he saved his passive active skill for when Tangina focused him, and he activated his passive active and just got that double kill. It was just absolutely just so well played, and I don't know. There's a lot of really crazy stuff that happened this match, but thank you guys so much for tuning in to HOC My Fighter YouTube. And if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. And share it with your friends. We do have a couple other tournament videos on here. I have a playlist somewhere on my YouTube channel that has a collection of, I think, 3 other different tournaments that happened. A 3v3 tournament, a 1v1 tournament, and a 4v4 tournament. This is a 2v2 tournament that actually my guild hosted itself. And it turned out to be a huge success, and we had a lot of really good players that really gave it their best. But you know what? These 2 teams rose above everybody else, made it to the finals, and put forth their greatest effort. So that just really makes me happy to see that. And, you know, actually after the game ended, it was a GG all around, and sportsmanlike conduct, and you know, respect for each other, and that's just really an amazing thing to see out of something that you know, obviously 2 people could want so badly, but you know what, I'm not gonna let that catch them out to be rude to each other or a bad person. That's just amazing to me. It really is. That's the spirit of Herodon, and it should remain like that. So take these as the kind of people to learn from. You know, after you win or lose a game, you know, you act the same. Maybe think about that one for a while. There's a lot of people that play this game that really don't. But, you know, that's something for another YouTube video another time. Alright, guys.